What's good, y'all, and welcome to my first impressions for Andor Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally here, man. Andor Season 2 is finally released. We got the first 3 episodes dropping today, man. And, yeah, fantastic, man. I love this so far from what we see of Andor Season 3, and obviously I'm excited to see the rest of the series. And obviously the big one is, like, seeing how well, or how this will tie in back to Rogue One. Are we going to end the movie like how Rogue One ended and leads directly into A New Hope? You know, we're going to have that where it's kind of like this, where it like ends basically right when we first see Andor and when he's introduced in Rogue One. Is it going to start before? Is it going to end before Rogue One begins? Are we going to see Felicia, you know, in the movie as well? Which I did see a tweet, and I might be wrong on this though, that the director, like the showrunner, someone in the creative team for Andor wanted to bring in more Rogue One members that they wanted to, but couldn't due to schedule conflicts. Didn't mention who they were, so who knows? Maybe we'll see Felicia, maybe we won't see Felicia. I don't know. Maybe we might see some of the other characters as well. But we will have to wait and see on that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, I would definitely say out of the 3 episodes, the first one was probably my favorite of the 3 episodes, followed by episode 3. Episode 2 was definitely my least favorite, which we'll talk about in a second, and yeah. And man, bro, episode 3, man, yo, there was something in the episode that we see that I got something to say about, or like something that I didn't quite gel with, which is a bit of a minor spoiler for the episode, so we'll save that for the end of the video. But yeah, that was like, I'll talk more about that when we get there, man. But like, there was something in there in that 3rd episode. If you guys follow me for, you guys obviously know what I'm talking about. If you watch the episodes, you guys can probably guess what I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, so yeah, let's just jump right in. So the show stars Diego Luga, Andrea Arjona, if I'm pronouncing it right, Faya Marseille, Dennis Yo, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Stellan Skarsgård, made more in the plot of Andor is the story of the rebel spy Cassian Andor's former years of the rebellion and its difficult missions for the cause. Now, once again, the cast is great, man. Diego's once again fantastic as Andor, man. He really shines in the 3rd episode. There was like this one sequence with him at the tail end of the episode that I think his performance there, where he doesn't really speak, it's just his face, that I thought was really good, man. But yeah, he's great, man. The rest of the cast that we see from the returning cast members are all fantastic once again, man. One thing I also gotta say is that one thing that was probably my favorite thing from these first initial 3 episodes was definitely the opening of episode 1, where we see Andor stealing a TIE fighter, where it seems like what's going on here was that he snuck into the Empire as a test pilot, or the rebellion snuck him in there as a test pilot for a TIE fighter. And he has to fly it out there to get out, man. And I love that whole sequence, man. First of all, it feels very much like a spy movie kind of thing, man, which I like. But I also kind of like the comedy of it, where Andor, for the life, cannot figure out how this fucking thing flies. And he's like struggling to make it work, man. And it's like blast, and the thing has like a mini like Death Star laser on it that just blasts shit, that just demolishes anything that the laser hit. And he's like, he's like trying to move the ship around, trying to fly in there, man. All the gates closing, stormtroopers show up that start shooting at him, man. It's an amazing sequence, man. And like I said, that was easily the highlight for me from these initial 3 episodes we got from Andor Season 2. That was a highlight, man. I love that whole sequence, man. That's another one of my favorites. Another one that I also really loved was with Deendra, who you guys know was the Imperial officer we followed in season 1. Well, now she's been like demoted. I don't really know the reason because it's been so long since Andor season 1. I forget exactly what the reason for it was, but she ends up getting like seemingly gets demoted from being like this Imperial officer to being like this like pencil pusher in like an office job sort of thing. Which I'm pretty sure she's now working with the guy that was the serial guy from season 1. If I remember correctly, he was the serial guy that was like the first that we actually ever got to see. It was either cereal or a toilet in Star Wars. I forget which one it was, but I remember there was a lot of people tweeting about like this is like the first time we actually see cereal or a flushing toilet or something in Star Wars. So that was a pretty big thing that was on traction with them. Where it seems like they're now living together. I don't know if these characters had any connection back in season 1, because like, it's been so long since season 1 that a lot of this shit I've honestly forgotten, man. I've honestly forgotten. The previously things have definitely kind of helped a little bit, but I'm still kind of lost in the sauce with a couple things, man. Not gonna lie. So forgive me if I'm like just missing details on certain things, man. But so like they have this whole sequence, man, with her and with her and him, where his like mom comes in there, man, and she's like trying like, oh, trying to like get to like just inserting herself into this whole thing, and like like just making it all about her. And they like share like a breakfast together. She constantly keeps waffling and rambling on about her son and everything, man. Yada 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 yada. It was this whole thing with her, and I love near the end of the sequence, man, where she just Toretto completely shoots her down. She's like, all right, let me tell you how this is gonna go down. She'll make him visit her like twice a month. He'll make sure he calls her. She will be engaged, but it'll be like the same. It'll be proportional to the level of anxiety you bring to us. It was a funny scene, and I also really love it. And, like, I also love how she's like trying to like get more details out of her, and she's like, "Oh, where did you grow up? Where are your parents?" And she's like, "I didn't have parents. They were criminals, and I was over that were captured when I was 3 years old, and I grew up in a imperial. I forget exactly what she called it, but I'm assuming it was like an imperial orphanage, basically, or something along those lines, man." She's like, "Oh." Not very delicate, is it? That whole sequence, man, was funny, man. If that is a serial guy from season 1, man, he was great, man. Hopefully we get to see more of it because he was a fun part of season 1, and I'm loving what we've seen so far from season 2, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we got going on with him as well. First of all, I was gonna say shout out to the wardrobe, to the wardrobe team, because I love some of the various outfits during the wedding sequence that we see throughout these first 3 episodes of Andor. I love the various outfits we saw the characters, especially like the wedding dress from I forget the name. I think Vel, I believe is her name, is her character's daughter, I believe, if I remember correctly. She's getting married off to some other dude. And I really liked her dress. I thought she had a really nice looking dress. Her dress was also really good as well. And like all the other suits and other outfits we see throughout this wedding part of the episode, man, I thought looked really good. So shout out to the wardrobe team. The cinematography for this show, man, I thought was also once again really good, man. Once again, like Rogue One, you can feel the sense of scale in the show, man, which is something that was continuing on from Rogue One into Andor season 1. Like I love this one shot that was the end of the 2nd episode when Andor finally leaves this like jungle planet he was on, and you see this big moon, this like big red moon with some planets in the background, like some like what looks to be like some Mayan or Aztec type temples sort of things, monuments sort of thing going on there, man, as he leaves that planet. They looked really good as well. I also love the 3rd episode as well. You have so many like wide shots of characters like running through like the massive like wheat fields. It just looked amazing. There's so many shots from the 3rd episode that looked amazing, man, I must say, man. I love the way that it was framed as well. So shout out to the cinematography in the show was also pretty good, man, with bits of what we saw in the 3rd episode, man. Music, once again, is great as well, man. Star Wars, of course, is always going to have great music. But I will say, to get back to the wardrobe thing, man, I gotta say, ties look very weird in the Star Wars universe. Because, like, instead of, like, the usual tie that we usually simply see, the ties now come out like this separate slot in these characters' clothing, man, where just the tie part of it, not the knot part of it comes out, man, which I just think looks bizarre, but, it's Star Wars, whatever, sci-fi and all that jazz. But, yeah, I thought how the ties looked was pretty weird, man. But yeah, that whole sequence with the serial guy, man, that was taken. Like, hopefully we see more of him, man. Because like earlier on the episode, I believe it was either the 2nd episode or it might have been the 1st episode. He talks about how like someone broke in there and exposed Imperial secrets in 4 sectors, and just the way he delivered it and everything, man, was so funny, man. I love this character, man. Hopefully we get to see more because he's easily probably one of my favorite parts of Andor, man. I really dig his vibe, man, so hopefully we get to see more of him. Which, judging from the fact that he's now paired together with Dreadnought, I'm assuming there will be more, that we will see more of these two. We will see more of him, alongside her and whatnot. Now, let's get into some of the negatives. First of all, I have to say my biggest negative with these first 3 episodes when we study is the Jungle Planet sequence, because I just feel like it just meanders. Like, I don't really care about any of the characters, man, and I'm not like, maybe I'm just an idiot, man. I just wasn't paying attention enough, and all the important stuff was just like, I just missed while I was like live tweeting on my phone and whatnot, man. But I thought this whole sequence was just meandering. I didn't care about the character, man, and half the time I didn't even know what the hell was happening, man. Which might have been the point, considering these characters had no idea what the fuck they were doing as well. So anyway, to go back with the comedy, I did like the part when he does enter the Jungle Planet, and like the crew members are arguing when they're trying to tell Andor that, hey, drop your guns. There's like 15 guns already in the bushes that are aimed at you. And he's like, hey, don't tell him that. There's tons. They're just this team is constantly bickering and arguing with each other, and they have to figure out what they do to Andor. Do they kill Andor because they have their own chick in there that's a pilot, and she's like trying to figure how the hell to pilot this fucking TIE fighter as well. And it's a whole thing, man. And then they seem like just split off for some reason, man. And like I said, a lot of the time I was just lost on what the hell was happening with these guys, man. And I just didn't find it particularly entertainment. So it was easily the weakest part of those 3 episodes for me personally. I just wasn't in that best. I just didn't really care. I was kind of like, can we get this off this fucking jungle planet already? Now, the big one that was easily my biggest flaw with the episode, man, and this probably might be a bit of a controversial thing considering my position using on this, man, but given it's Star Wars, it's different. So this is going to be a minor spoiler for episode 3, man, so skip ahead if you guys don't want to get spoiled. But in the 3rd episode, a woman who I think is Andor's like girlfriend or wife or something, I'm not entirely sure what her connection, but I'm pretty sure her and Andor are indeed in a romantic relationship. We see constantly go back to Andor's home planet with the people that he is friends with or family with. I literally, like I said, man, I forget half these characters, man. I forget their connection to Andor because it's been so long since season 1, man. So forgive me if I've forgotten details. Honestly, I might have to go watch like Star Wars Explain, video on this or something, just to freshen my memory of these characters, just so I remember, okay, what the hell is happening, like just so I'm back up to speed. But anyway. So we have this whole thing with them where we cut back from throughout 3 episodes where the Imperial are starting to catch up to them, man. They're starting to gain on them, and by the end of the 3rd episode, man, they're trying to make a run for when the Imperial starts to come over to where they're sitting at, to I'm assuming arrest them or interrogate about Andor or what have you, and they want to get out of the way and they want to sneak away and run away from the Empire before they get caught. So you have this whole thing going on there, man, and we see this one Imperial guy. In particular, we see occasionally pop out, or frequently rather, throughout these 3 episodes. And in the 3rd episode, we see him alone with Andor's girlfriend, wife, whoever the hell she is. And like the dude starts really coming on her, man. He's going on, but like, oh, I really could use a massage, and because she's like a farmer, now she must have really strong hands. And like the dude is making his intentions very clear, which leads to this whole chase sequence, man, which ends up leading with her which ends up leading to where she ends up like beating him to death, or at least getting him like severely concussed with a couple of attacks right to the head with like some sort of metal object she found, man. And like I also shout out to the director as well as the actor that played this guy for like I think probably giving you the most accurate depiction of a concussion you will see in Star Wars or in just films in general, because like this dude is so out of it, man. Once he gets to like that second hit to the head, man, he is so out of it. He can barely stand, and by the end of once he walks outside there, man, he just falls flat. I don't know if the dude is dead by that point, or he's just knocked out from the brain trauma he suffered. But I thought that was a very accurate depiction of how someone getting direct head trauma for something like that easily would have definitely landed them with a concussion, possibly some brain damage as well, just from the damage of it. But so you have the whole sequence, man. Now this part of the episode actually got spoiled to me while I was watching episode 3. Funny enough. Because you guys know I live tweet while I'm watching Marvel shows, Star Wars shows. I'm always live tweeting on Twitter. And what I like to do sometimes while I'm live tweeting the episode is sometimes I will check my feed and scroll a little bit as the episode's going on after I tweet, just to see if there's anything going on there, man. Sometimes I check, sometimes I don't check. And while I was like midway through the episode, I think I saw like 20 or so minutes left of the episode, man. I scrolled for a little bit and saw this tweet from Star Wars Theory saying that like sexual assault has no place in Star Wars, that Vader wouldn't condone this shit, etc., etc., etc. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking like, bro, wait, are we talking about Andor? Am I about to witness a rape scene in Andor, man? Like, is this for a comic or something? Like, what else? So for the rest of the episode, I'm kind of like, what the fuck's that? Then I get to see him like, okay, this is what he meant. And she literally says the dude after the dude falls on his face, man. Another one of the Imperials that was there with them is like coming towards her with like this gun pointed at me, telling her to get out. She says he tried to rape me. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Now, me personally, you guys may know, I think I might have mentioned this before in previous videos, but I am not the type of person to be waving my finger at brides, like if they include like dark themes or edgy themes or whatnot. Like I'm not the person to be like, oh, how dare you use rape, blah, 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 blah. I'm the type of person let writers write whatever the fuck they want to write, but that also doesn't mean that they're immune to criticism and that I can still be critical of it, but I'm not going to be the type of person that waves my finger at you for using certain things or saying that you can't use or do certain topics or whatnot, man, because of X, Y, and Z or whatever the case may be. Like you guys know me, I love SEO, and I've been very critical of Reki Kawahara's use of rape earlier on SEO, man. I've been very critical of how he would always use it like basically as like a crutch to get his villains over. I have been very critical of that in my SEO reviews, you know, back in the day, man. And like you guys also know that I read DeadTube, which is filled with rape scenes, but like by that point, it's, you know exactly the type of manga DeadTube is, basically the first few chapters, man. By that point, if you're into that, you're just along for the ride, you're just, hey, whatever, man, you know, I'm here for the ride, man. You know, like I said, that is a manga for the most depraved, sick fuck horror fans like myself, man, with the murder and the rape scenes and everything, man. It's very edgy, it's just edgy for the sake of edgy. I know that, but I still do enjoy the manga in that sort of horror context. But this is Star Wars, and like Star Wars mentioned, I feel like something like this just doesn't have a place in here, man. Like, this feels like something that George would never approve of. Now, you could may have some arguments, and people mentioned this in his comments when he did tweet this, was like, oh, but genocide, you know, Anakin kills younglings and all this, and like, sure, and like, you know, like, then they say, like, oh, the Empire is evil, you know, of course they would do this. And like, if this was literally any other sci-fi series, if this was like a Blade Runner, if this was in like a new Blade Runner movie or something, you would not hear anything about me come out and be like, oh shit, you know, be like an oh shit moment, but I wouldn't really say anything other than that. But because this is Star Wars, I don't know, man, it just doesn't feel right to me, man. I feel like that, like, you could have just cut the scene entirely out because it really served no purpose, man, other than maybe just some shock value. And to be fair, nothing really happens. It's a glorified chase scene, you know, but, you know, the dude's intentions are very much apparent on what he was going to do if she didn't fight back. So, you know, like I said, if this was literally any other sci-fi sort of thing or any other movie, I would not complain or even really mention or whatnot, because like I said, I'm not the type of person to be waving at writers, telling them what they can and can't write. You know, that's just not my thing. But with Star Wars, man, I don't know, man. It just rubs me the wrong way. Call me a put baby if you want me to. I'm all for Star Wars having adult storylines and taking on more adult themes and everything, but I don't know, man. I feel like Brave's that's just too far. I feel that's just like something that we just don't cross. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Star Wars has always been marketed towards kids and everything, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm cool with graphic violence, man, but like rape is where I draw the line. I know it might sound dumb as like a dumb, you know, like double standard sort of thing, man. Like, you guys may remember that when 2013, when the Tomb Raider reboot came, people were throwing a fit over that QTE thing that happened. Everyone was throwing a fit about that, man. I also thought that was kind of dumb. So, yeah, like I said, I feel just because it's Star Wars, man, it just rubs me the wrong way. I feel it just doesn't have a place here, man. So, yeah, you guys can disagree with me, and fair enough if you guys do, man, but like, as a Star Wars fan, as someone that's been watching Star Wars since I was a kid, I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't have a place here, man. Now, I don't know if this has been a thing before, like in previous EU novels or comics, back either during Legends or held during the current Disney canon, the modern canon, that there have been issues or whatnot that have featured sexual assault and rape and whatnot, man, in the books previously. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't really vibe with it. And to be fair, like I said, nothing really happens, man. Probably because it is Disney. They probably wouldn't let them get much farther than this, man. But, like, I don't know. It's just something I just don't vibe with, man. I just don't vibe with it, man. I just feel like it just doesn't have a place in Star Wars. But like, that's just my opinion, man. If you guys disagree, please feel free. Like, leave your thoughts below in the comments what you guys think of this scene. If you guys think this has a place in Star Wars, like me and Star Wars Theory, agree on, man, or you disagree and think that this is like perfectly fine, that we should allow this sort of thing, and this should be, you know, encouraged or allowed, and we can see this in Star Wars and whatnot, man. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, man, that's all I got for you guys for Andor Season 2, man. Fantastic first 3 episodes, man. Looking forward to watching the rest of them, man. It's good. It's refreshing to actually do one of these videos where the video's under like 30 minutes, like, because the Daredevil board game videos were so goddamn long, man. But, yeah, man. Anyway, guys, overall, give these first 3 episodes a 9 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Oh, and also like the wedding. I forgot to mention this earlier. I also really like the wedding sequence, man. When they actually got married, man. I thought that sequence was really cool as well. When we got that whole ceremony sort of thing they did, man. I thought that sequence was pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me if you feel like it. Links in the description box below. And it's what's for more. See you guys next time.
You